When I first met Mira Sorvino in 2001, 2002, she was working with Amnesty International to stop violence against women. And I thought, well, that's amazing. But this is who she is. This is really who she is. And I want to share some of the highlights because I think it's very important that you know what she's doing. She was the official ambassador for Amnesty International's Stop Violence Against Women campaign from 2004 to 2008. And in 2006, she was honored with Amnesty International's Artist of Conscience Award. She lobbied Capitol Hill on the topic of human trafficking and officially testified before Congress on the genocide in Darfur, Sudan. Having supported the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Anti-Trafficking Initiative since 2007, in 2009, she was appointed to Goodwill Ambassador. 2010, the UN awarded her Global Advocate of the Year. She represented United Nations Office on Drug and Crimes at the Vatican at the second annual conference on modern day slavery. She championed the strongest slate of anti-sexual harassment in California, which was signed by Governor Jerry Brown. 2017, Mira was one of the first to come forward about Harvey Weinstein's sexual misconduct in Ronan Farrow's New Yorker expose. Her advocacy in New York State alongside Time's Up and Governor Andrew Cuomo helped pass extensions to the statute of limitations for rape and strengthen protections against sexual harassment. She was just awarded the Humanitarian of the Year by the United Nations Association of New York for her work on human trafficking. So what I'm saying is that this woman everything about her is to make the world a better place while supporting her family, while pursuing her beautiful career. She's unstoppable. She's passionate. On a personal level, she's taught me about friendship and family and love, and most importantly, that there is hope in the world. So it is an honor to present the Creative Coalition's Humanitarian Award to Mira Sorvino.
Thank you so much, Melora. You should all know that Melora is a force in her own right. She is sitting, I believe, in front of her own painting. She's an incredible artist. She's an incredible auteur director. I've been in all of her films that she's directed. An extraordinary actress and extraordinary human. So thank you for being the most amazing person, by the way. Thank you so much to the Creative Coalition. It's really a beautiful honor. When I hear about everything that all of you are doing, I am so inspired. You know, there is so much great stuff going on right now. And I just feel that, you know, that Margaret Mead quote that was at the beginning about, you know, a small group of people changing the world is the only thing that ever has changed the world is really true. It's up to us to find our own unique passion, to find the way that we fit into the world, to fit into the injustices that we see around us that perhaps we've experienced or have a special empathy for, and then dive in and see what we can do about it. I have to say that I have been so inspired by all the survivors of human trafficking that I have interviewed over the years in my tenure as Goodwill Ambassador for UNODC against human trafficking. You know, there are over 30 million people living in slavery today. It's a $250 billion criminal industry, second place only to drug trafficking, tied for second with arms. There are more people living in slavery today than at any other point in recorded human history. And yet the conviction rate for human trafficking is abysmally low. It's in the tens of thousands total ever for 30 million people living as slaves right now. And, you know, I think we were all taught in school, oh, you know, slavery went away. There's no more chattel slavery. There is this new pernicious form of slavery, in addition to the modern day prison system, obviously, that is also a form of legalized slavery. But human trafficking is illegal underground slavery. It can take the form of labor trafficking, which is 50% of the cases around the world, and sexual exploitation. And it disproportionately affects women and girls. And it is everywhere. It's here in this country. It is in every single country in the world, both as sources and destination countries. You don't have to leave your room to be trafficked. It doesn't involve necessarily any sort of travel. it means being compelled to work by force and lack of liberty and for very little money and threat of harm to oneself or one's loved ones. So I really want people to be aware that human trafficking has not gone away just because there's some more awareness of it now than when I started in 2004 advocating on it. It's the dirty little secret of the modern era that we have permitted on our watch that millions and millions of people are living lives of abject misery. And I can say that, one time I interviewed a human trafficking victim, a young woman who has herself admitted that between the ages of 12 and 16, she was raped 43,000 times. And you can see her story on CNN Freedom Project. Her name is Carla Jacinto, and she lives in Mexico. But when I interviewed her and she told me the story about how her human trafficker punished her for her insubordination with a branding of an iron to her face and then an iron to the face of her little baby child, my heart just melted, and I saw a single tear go down her scarred face, and I thought, oh, there are some wounds that are too deep to heal, and how is this woman ever going to be able to overcome this? And I walked away very demoralized. And cut to a couple of years later, when I went to the Vatican for the second time representing UNODC for the joint interfaith declaration against human trafficking as a crime against humanity, I ran into her with my friend Rosie Orozco with her. And she said, Mira, you remember Carla? And I said, yes. And I saw this woman, this beaming young woman, smiling, shyly, laughing in a white coat, happy, thriving. She had become an international advocate. I said, what are you doing here, Carla? And she said, I'm reading the document, the international declaration that all the faith leaders of the world are signing on to, the Pope, the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Amma, the Hugging Saint of India, imams and rabbis and Buddhist nuns, and I'm reading it in Spanish for the whole world tomorrow. And she was married now, and she had a second child, and she still suffers trauma, but she was incredible, happy and laughing and fulfilling her destiny. And that taught me the most enormous lesson that I hope everybody takes away, that no one is beyond resuming the life that they were really born to have. No one is beyond living out their potential and cannot be forgotten. There's no lost cause. There's no lost hope. Oh, those poor people. Oh, well, what can we do? And I think that the trafficking problem is so enormous that sometimes people walk away from it and throw up their hands. And what I'm here to say is that young woman taught me that every single one of those 30 million lives is worth us fighting tooth and nail to save and to eradicate this horrendous practice in our day. So if you want to get involved, UNODC has a tremendous trust fund that you can donate to that helps victims of trafficking all across the globe, or there are so many local organizations where you can lend your personal passion and talent to. And I just want to thank the Creative Coalition for shining a light on all these different individual efforts that all of you are making. Wow, it's an inspiring evening, and I'm just really grateful to be here in your company.
Mira, thank you so much. You say it's an inspiring evening, but you are so inspiring. Listening to Melora list what you've done, listening to you talk right now. So I have to ask, when are you going to run for office?
It's funny, I'm not a tremendously political person. I want to affect change. I like to advocate. I like to influence legislative change, and I have helped pass more than 10 laws, which really makes me feel happy. And that the fact that some of those were Me Too laws, I feel like I turned my trauma into some sort of progress, which I feel good about. It's my way of feeling better about, turning something bad into something good for other people. But I don't know, I'm not very interested in power. I'm just interested in change. And I think you really have to I worry. I think politics is so full of making compromises, and right now I'm very happy just being an advocate. But thank you so much for the thought.
You're not interested in power, but are you interested in a Romy and Michelle sequel? When are we seeing it?
It's not in my hands. It's up to Disney, and I would be so grateful if they would decide to do it. And I know that Lisa and Robin Schiff are both interested in it. Maybe Alan is interested in it. I don't know. I heard that, maybe Janine is interested in it. I love Lisa, and I would do anything just to work with her again in any capacity. I'm going to do her ancestry show, but I'd love to act with her again. So that would be a joy.
Well, if you could pass legislation, I think you could get Disney to make the sequel. Thank you so much, Mira. Congratulations again.
Thank you.